Welcome to the Hardy Mom Podcast. My mom has tips and tricks to help you live well with health challenges. She'll even tell you how to get your kids to help out. Wait, what?
You're health challenged, girl, I get it. Feeling anxious, depressed, don't you sweat it. You felt alone with no one to go to.
Hi, I'm Jen Hardy, mom of 7 and collector of eclectic diseases, and I'm here today to talk to you about how to deal with the people that drive you crazy. Up front, I'm going to give you the simple answer. 1, don't take their behavior personally. 2, set those boundaries. And 3, keep things positive. So, we all know them, those people in our lives that make every day a challenge. I keep telling my kids, there's always that one, right? At work or in a class or that lives in your neighborhood. They're difficult people and they come in all shapes and sizes, but they've all got one thing in common. They can really wear you down. Most people dealt with someone they find annoying at some point in their lives. Chances are you've dealt with many more than one. And the more stressed out we are, the more other people seem to get on our nerves. There's a lot of different ways to deal with these people, but it's important to have a plan before you encounter them, which basically means always have a plan because you never know quite where they're going to show up. I want you to remember that no one's perfect because, we all have annoying habits that drive other people crazy. And the key to dealing with the people who drive you crazy is to first understand why their behavior bothers you. And then you use that knowledge to develop a plan to deal with them. A lot of times, the things that bother us about other people are reflections of our own personal issues. Think about your child with that habit that drives you absolutely crazy and you figure out later it's because you have the same habit. And when we work on those areas within ourselves, we can stop reacting to those same behaviors in other people. So when someone's really bothering you, be sure to ask yourself, am I upset because they're doing something I don't like about myself? And if the answer is yes, address that. Sometimes that's all it takes to be able to deal with that person. Also, I've got some techniques that can be used when we interact with people who drive us crazy. And so by using these strategies, we can learn how to better cope with their behavior and hopefully maintain our sanity in the process. So if you're struggling with how to deal with a difficult person, here's some tips that might help. Number 1, don't take their behavior personally. Difficult people are often dealing with their own issues. They're not looking for a fight with you, so try not to take it personally. Number 2, set those boundaries. If someone is constantly crossing your personal boundaries, it's time to set some limits. Let that person know what behaviors are acceptable and which ones are unacceptable, and be prepared to enforce those boundaries if it's necessary. Keep things positive. That's number 3, because when you have a positive attitude, the whole world and the people in it seem better. If you need some tips on feeling more positive for yourself, go to episode 50 and listen to that one because it's all about how to be positive. And I guarantee there's some ideas in there you haven't heard before. To make it easier to stay positive with annoying people, I've got more ideas. The first one is to talk to them openly and honestly. Obviously, that is the best idea if it's possible. Let them know you're not happy with their behavior and why. This will hopefully make them aware of their actions and maybe they'll change them. Try to keep a cool head when you're dealing with these people though, and don't let them get to you. Definitely don't lose your temper. Stay calm and collected. Maintain eye contact with the other person when you're talking, and that should help you stay in control of the situation. The second one is to stay calm and make a conscious decision that they will not bother you. In our fast-paced society, it's easy to get wrapped up in all those little things and let them bug you. And before you know it, you're stressed out and your whole day is ruined. But it's important to remember to stay calm. Count to 10 if you have to, or leave the situation if you're totally overwhelmed by it. But please don't let those little things in life ruin your day, like that one thing that person said at Starbucks. Another thing you can do is ask them if there's anything you can do to help them out. This may seem counterproductive if they're really grumpy, but they might be struggling with something you don't know about, or maybe they've had a really bad day. I can tell you that I've been dealing with some very rude people, and they suddenly turned very nice when I reached out to them. They were feeling alone or dealing with something overwhelming, and just knowing that someone noticed they were off and cared enough to ask about it made them feel better. That often goes against our feeling at the time, though, especially if we're really agitated, but reaching out can help quickly diffuse a situation. So let's talk a little bit more about not taking their behavior personally, because we all have that one person in our life that's just plain hard to deal with. And they might be chronically late or always need to be the center of attention, or maybe they just never take responsibility for their actions, and dealing with them can be really frustrating. And a lot of times it leads to us taking their behavior personally, like they're trying to drive us nuts. But it's important to remember that they're usually not acting that way on purpose just to upset you. More likely than not, they're simply acting out of character because maybe they've got some personal issues, or maybe they're just insecure, or maybe they have so many things going on, they're just not thinking about how they're relating to others. So let's just really work on being understanding. So here's a couple more thoughts. Number one is don't ghost people. I don't think that that's ever really the answer. You've got to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're not driving you crazy on purpose. Because if you've ever been ghosted, you know how much it hurts. And you don't want to do that to somebody. Don't make them feel that way. But you can let them know that you're going to take a break. Let them know you're going to be taking some time for yourself, and you'll let them know when you're ready to talk again. And that's okay. That being said, if someone is clearly annoying or hurting you on purpose, you have every right to cut ties with that person. But don't say things like, I'll never talk to you again, unless they're abusive, because you just might want to talk to them later. So don't say things in anger that you don't mean. But if they are being mean to you on purpose, you need to firmly let them know that this kind of behavior will not be tolerated. And for now, you're going to take a break. And if they get help later and they try to make things better, you can reconsider your choice, but you get to take a break, period, because self-preservation is so important, and not just our mental health, but our physical health too, because when we're constantly stressed by someone, it takes its toll on us emotionally and physically. So are you surrounded by people who drive you nuts? And do you allow them to treat you badly? It's time to take a stand for yourself and for your family. But while you're doing it, keep your cool. Because you are the difference between someone annoying you and an all-out argument. And you can do this. And I can't wait to hear how it went. So send me a message, hardymom.com/contact, and let me know about the people that are driving you nuts, how you've taken care of that this week, or anything else you want to talk about, because I'm here for you. Have a blessed day, and I can't wait to talk to you next week.
Tips and tricks here that will help you. There's advice from experts and interviews. Find time to be with your kids and family. I can help you get it done easily. So premenopausal or postpartum, all stages of womanhood, girl, we've got 'em. I've been there, I've done that too, with a Hardy Mom podcast. Yeah, I'm here for you.